Good morning. Welcome to another One Mind meditation. Our teacher this week is Eckhart Tolle. Today's message, I think, can be titled, Know Yourself as the Being Beneath the Thoughts. For the last few days, this theme has been present in almost every meditation for the last few days, because this theme is really present in all of Eckhart's work. Know yourself as the being beneath the thoughts. Charlene, good morning. Somebody, good morning. Joanne, good morning. Stefan, good morning. Hope you all have had a beautiful start to your day. Think about this thought. Really take a moment to feel this idea. Know yourself as the being beneath the thoughts. You have thoughts, you have feelings, you have emotions. Are those things, the thoughts, the feelings, the emotions, are they who you really are? Or is there a being on a deeper level with the ability to observe all of these chemical reactions without getting caught up in them? So here are quite a few thoughts from Eckhart this morning that speak about this idea. A quick hello to Linda, good morning, awesome seeing you. Anne-Marie, good morning, good to see you, happy to have you all here. Eckhart says, to know yourself as the being underneath the thinker, the stillness underneath the mental noise, the love and joy underneath the pain. This is freedom, salvation, enlightenment. Eckhart says, observe your thoughts, don't believe them. Be the silent watcher of your thoughts and behavior. You are beneath the thinker. You are the stillness beneath the mental noise. You are the love and joy beneath the pain. Again, he says, in the moment that you realize you are not present, in that moment you become present. In your realization of not being present, you become present. Whenever you are able to observe your mind, you are no longer trapped in it. Another factor has come in, something that is not of the mind, the witnessing presence. Simone, a very good morning. It is so good to see you. Hello. Thanks for visiting today. So we all have these, call it narratives, call it thoughts, call it voices that speak within us. Do you believe these voices in your head? We all have more than one experience of ourselves. Often it feels like different voices speaking from within or different parts of ourselves. Do you automatically believe that your thoughts are who you are? Or do you perhaps instinctively resist and fight these thoughts, fight a war with them? There is no need to believe your thoughts, but equally there's no need to fight with your own thoughts, because the moment you're able to take a step back and be the witness to your own thinking and emotions, then you are not being the thoughts or emotions. You are being the observer, witnessing yourself from a higher dimension. And all that is needed is having more practice at being this observer, because everything you practice, you become better at. This is what makes meditation so powerful. Every meditation is an exercise in stepping outside of the human pain body to look at yourself with wisdom. And with continued practice, you'll find yourself acting less from old wounds and more from your soul. So this is our journey today, a moment to take a step outside of ourselves and be that witness, be that observer, and just slowly become better at looking at ourselves from that perspective. If you're ready, you can close your eyes and let's float away together on today's journey, starting with the first few big breaths. Let's take a deep breath in and out. A deep breath in and out. inhale. And let it go. Deep breath in. And out. One more big breath in. And let it all flow away. You can continue the same breathing pattern on your own time. Every slow inhale through your nose gets drawn all the way down deep into your belly. And as you fill up your belly with air, also raise yourself up. As you breathe in, stretch out your spine, lift the top of your head toward the ceiling. And once you've reached your full height, let all of it go. As you exhale, soften. As you breathe out, soften your spine, slump down your shoulders, and drop your head. Continue your own full body breathing on your own time, rising with every inhale and falling with every exhale. Take a moment to create in your mind, while you keep breathing, the image of a stage full of actors acting in a play. Just imagine that it's opening night for this play. The first time the play goes live, all of the actors excited on the stage together. But now I want to share with you an example, or more information actually, on this specific example. I asked you to create a picture in your mind of actors in a play, but here's some more information. These actors never rehearsed. This is the opening night. It is the first time they see each other. It's the first time they get to put on the costumes. It's the first time they get to move into their different places on the stage. And it's going to happen for the first time while there's a crowd watching them. That just makes no sense, does it? Even if they've studied their scripts, they've not had the opportunity to think through all of the movement that needs to happen. And they're encountering opening night as if it's the first time, because it is. In a way, we often do that with our lives. What rehearsal does for a play can be as powerful for our own minds. We step out of our front door, walk into our lives, and we encounter everything in our day as a first-time experience, as a blind side from the left or from the right. No rehearsal. What meditation does for us is it gives us the opportunity to have a mental rehearsal. Especially today's journey, the observer. Taking a moment to step outside of myself and kind of rehearse how I want this to go. A mental rehearsal when I close my eyes, take a few big breaths, and run in my mind through the day ahead. How do I want this day to go? What are the possible problems I will face today? Which are the ones at least I can envision? When I'm in the habit of running a mental rehearsal, then I'm like an actor on stage opening night, but with a few rehearsals under the belt. Everything doesn't hit me as a blind side. Thank you for being here right now. Thank you for giving yourself the opportunity to have a mental rehearsal. The more we do this, the more clearly we can see the benefit it has in our lives. We'll take the last few big breaths of this phase together, helping our bodies stretch, adjust, and settle down into as much comfort as possible for the rest of our journey. Let's take a deep breath in. As you release, drop your head all the way forward. Roll out your neck muscles forward and to the left. And forward and to the right. Take a deep breath in. As you release, roll your shoulders forward in big, slow circles. Take a deep breath in. As you release, roll your shoulders backwards in big circles, nice and slow. Take a deep breath in. As you release, focus on your spine. You can lean your upper body over to the left and also lean your upper body over to the right. Stretching into your back muscles. Finding the edges and very gently leaning into those edges. One more big breath in. And as you release, you can stretch or move or adjust any part of your body that still needs a bit of help settling down. Having softened our bodies into a state of presence as much as we are able to at least, we can now turn our attention inwards and dive deep inside for the next part of our journey. If you don't have the time to sit for the whole meditation with us, then right here is always a good place to stop. But if you are here for the whole journey, then With every next inhale, we'll hold our breath for a few short moments, followed by a really long, really slow exhale. Let's take a deep breath in and hold. As you release, make it a really long, really slow exhale. Take a deep breath in and hold. As you release, feel into your body. Feel how softness settles in every part of your body. Take a deep breath in and hold. As you release, follow the downwards flow through your body. Feel your shoulders slowly falling. Feel your body slowly softening. And feel how you are slowly slipping deeper into you. One more big breath in. And hold. As you release, feel yourself melting. Feel your whole body dissolving. Feel how you are slipping into a deeper level of surrender with every slow exhale. You can continue the same breathing pattern on your own time. Every slow inhale through your nose is an invitation. It invites you to turn inwards and follow this journey. As you breathe in, feel the air flow in through your nostrils. Feel the air touch the back of your throat. Stay with your breath as it flows in through your lungs. And as you fill up the balloon inside your belly, feel yourself slip all the way in. Hold your breath, but hold it only for as long as it feels easy, followed by a really long, really slow exhale. With your next big breath, as you dive deep into you, the theme of our meditation today is being the observer. Give it a try. As you take your next big breath and dive deep inside, see if you can take a step away from yourself. Form a picture of you sitting there, taking a breath. See if you can observe yourself. Take your next big breath. Our practice today starts with reminding yourself of a recent event. Can you remember anything recently where your reaction to something, another human being, some set of circumstances, where in hindsight your reaction was not ideal? Can you find a recent example? And if the example is not so recent, that's fine. Search a little bit further back then. Any situation in which the way you reacted, in hindsight, would be different if you had to do it over again. You can see that you didn't do yourself any favors by reacting that way. Do you have an example yet? With your next big breath, as you dive deep into you, become more familiar with that example. Just remind yourself of it happening again. Take your next big breath. There are a few spiritual traditions that specifically talk about being the observer or being the witness of yourself specifically. And these traditions all make it very clear that as you observe yourself, there cannot be any judgment or criticism. Because the judgment and the criticism does not come from the place of the witness. It comes from your mind thinking the same old thoughts it always does. So you haven't stepped outside of yourself if you find yourself judging or criticizing what you're seeing. It's very practical, because being the witness, being the observer, you're trying to see all of this. You're trying to take it all in and form understanding. And while you are judging or criticizing yourself, it's very hard to see all of this, because a part of you, in guilt and shame, wants to look away. So as you take your next big breath and dive deep into you, take a look again at that example of how you reacted in a way that you're not quite happy with. And while you look at you in that set of circumstances, see if you're able to completely put down any judgment, any criticism at all. Take your next big breath. While we're practicing being the witness, we're going to exercise this muscle and make it as clear as possible. Remember the moment with your reaction that you're not happy with. Can you remember what you were wearing? Can you see yourself so clearly that you can even remember the clothes you wore when you had that reaction? It's perfectly fine if you don't. We're just exercising this muscle of being the observer. Take your next big breath. While you were having that reaction, can you remind yourself of what your thoughts were? What were the thoughts going through your mind? What was the thought process? What words do you remember going through your mind when you had that reaction? Take your next big breath. Just imagine you could really see yourself in that moment and zoom in on your facial expression. While you had that unhelpful reaction, what was your facial expression like? What was your body language? How clearly can you see that? Take your next big breath. And if you were to gently touch that person on the shoulder in that moment and ask, what is it that you are afraid will happen? Just imagine you could go back there, see yourself being reactive, and gently ask yourself, what is it that you are afraid will happen? How would that version of you answer? Take your next big breath. being the observer, we were just looking into the past and observing the past. Now we'll turn that in the other direction. Let's look into the future and observe the future and have the opportunity to do a dress rehearsal. If the same or very similar set of circumstances were to happen again, if you found yourself in the same place, would you want to respond differently? Would you want to be able to see the situation differently and understand how you could respond in a much more empowered way? So let's do that. Let's look into the future and have a dress rehearsal. If the same event occurred, what are the thoughts you would love to choose to be in your head? What would you internally want to say to yourself if the same event occurs again? Take your next big breath. If the same event occurs again in future, how would you want to feel as this happens? What are the emotions you'd want to feel, or what would you want the physical sensation in your body to be like if you find yourself in the same set of circumstances? How would you want to feel? Take your next big breath. And if you did find yourself in the same situation again, what would you want the words coming out of your mouth to be? Rehearse them right now. How would you want to speak if the same event were to occur again? Take your next big breath. Again, as the observer at this future example of you, look at your facial expression and your body language. What would you want your facial expression and your body language to be? Take your next big breath. We'll take just one more big breath together to slip out of the breath holding space and into the next. Take a deep breath in and hold. As you release, feel yourself slip all the way through. There is no more attention on your breathing. You can sit all the way back or even lie all the way back down and feel yourself just floating. I'll read to you one more time from Eckhart's words this morning. He says, to know yourself as the being beneath the thinker, the stillness underneath the mental noise, the love and joy underneath the pain. This is freedom. This is salvation. This is enlightenment. Observe your thoughts. Don't believe them. Be the silent watcher of your thoughts and behavior. You get a real sense of how this works when you find yourself in a moment of pressure, and just before you react, you find yourself being the observer looking at you, realizing there's a reaction coming, and then understanding I have choice here. I can choose to react in the same old pre-programmed way, or I can choose a different response. Would it be helpful if we always have that experience under pressure? Always feeling that we have access to this observer. Everything we practice, we become better at. And if you find yourself in that moment and you don't quite know what a better course of action will be, make something like this your go-to. Can you say, please give me a moment. I can't get into this right now. I'm going to get back to you. Because when it feels like you don't have access to the best response, it often just takes a step away. It takes a moment, or perhaps if you have the space, a day, and get back to it again tomorrow. We have the last 5 breaths of gratitude to do together. With every exhale, I'll say my thank you, and I invite you to say yours. Let's take a deep breath in. Thank you for learning how to step into that observer aspect of me. Take a deep breath in. Thank you for the opportunity to have this moment to rehearse. Because it's more likely, just like actors on a stage, it's more likely that if I rehearse this often, I won't be blindsided. I'll be more ready when it happens. Take a deep breath in. Even more importantly, thank you for being kind to myself in the moments where I do slip. In the moments where an old habit, an old pattern was triggered, and I did react in the same old way. Thanks for being kind to myself in those moments. One more big breath in. Thank you, beautiful people. Thank you for being on this journey with us today. Good morning, Denny. It's good to see you live with us in a session. Thanks for being here. Thank you, Charlene. You have a beautiful day. Thank you, Simone. Have an awesome one. There are so many studies around the idea of mental rehearsal. For instance, studies about not having your hands on the piano, but closing your eyes and imagining your fingers on the piano and practicing. And the brain scans show that it's almost the same. It's almost the same as having my fingers on the keys of the piano practicing if I just close my eyes and do it. And I almost have the same benefits of building neural pathways while I do this. We can do better at doing a mental rehearsal before anything. Are you stepping into a meeting? How about close your eyes for a minute and just see how you want to be in this meeting? And of course, we can do it at the start of every day. Having that difficult conversation with a family member, would it help you to close your eyes, have a mental rehearsal, and see how you want to be in this conversation? It's not a magic wand, but the more we do it, the better we get at it. Thank you, Colette. Thank you, Grain. Thank you, Sunmuddy. Thank you, Linda. Hope you all have a really beautiful day. See you soon. Ciao, ciao.